Y'all, the streets are talking and they're saying that Rihanna just dropped a bomb on Jay-Z. She's out here spilling all the tea about how he might be tied up to some real shady business. We're talking about young girls, secret flights, and boardroom meetings that will make your skin crawl. Is this the end of Jay-Z's empire? Well, hold on, this isn't even a whole story. Rihanna's tea just got started, y'all. There's way more dirt coming out and it's gonna shake up the whole music industry. We're talking about stuff that could change everything we thought we knew about our favorite celebs. And get this, even Miss Queen Bee might be caught up in this mess. Yeah, you heard me right. Beyonce might not be as clean as we all thought. Is she a part of all this drama too? The tea is piping hot, and it's about to spill all over the place. So here's the deal. Rihanna's out here claiming that she was allegedly brought to Jay-Z when she was just a young child. We're talking about 16 years old, y'all. Can you even imagine? A teenager getting mixed up with one of the biggest names in the music biz. It's wild and it's got people talking and asking some real uncomfortable questions. Now we've got to talk about Jaguar Wright and what she's been saying, because she's been telling everybody who will listen that Rihanna got flown out to the US without her parents. Just picture this, a young girl all alone ending up in some fancy boardroom with Jay-Z and his crew. It's giving real Hunter versus Prey type of energy. But it got even crazier because Jaguar Wright is saying that Rihanna's dad showed up 24 hours later to collect a fat check. Now, I don't know about y'all, but what kind of parent does that? Sending your little girl over to another country and then showing up just to get paid? It's making people wonder if Rihanna was set up by the very people who were supposed to protect her. This is where it gets really interesting. Remember Rihanna's first Big Kid Pon de Replay? That song blew up after she turned 17. And guess what happened around that same time? She signed with Jay-Z's label Def Jam. Now, I'm not saying that there's something fishy going on, but come on. A teenage girl gets discovered, flies to the US, meets Jay-Z, and suddenly she's got a record deal and a hit song? That's a lot of coincidences if you ask me. Y'all, Jaguar Wright wasn't holding back. When someone asked her if it was starting to sound like Rihanna was illegally brought in, you know what she said? It's starting to sound that way, doesn't it? And that's not a denial. That's someone who thinks that there's more to the story than what's been told. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Rihanna's so successful now, maybe it was all worth it. Well, hold on. We're talking about a young woman here. Someone who might have been taken advantage of by powerful men in the industry. It doesn't matter how famous or rich she got later. If it's true, it's straight up wrong. And let's not forget, this isn't just about Rihanna. If Jay-Z was mixed up in this kind of mess with her, who's to say there aren't other young artists out here with similar stories? And well, your guesses are as good as mine, but there's other artists who allegedly have some dirt on Mr. Carter, none other than Miss Foxy Brown. Now, Foxy's been keeping it real lately, and she's not holding back either. She's out here telling everybody who will listen about how Jay-Z did her dirty when she was just a young talent. We're talking really young, y'all. And what's about to be dropped, Jay-Z has young Foxy rapping about grown people's explicit business. And all the details about how Jay-Z co-wrote her song Il Nana. And if you heard that track, you know it's not for young people. Well, at least it shouldn't be. And Jay had Foxy, who wasn't even old enough to drive, rapping lines like, Yo Nana ill first week out, shipped a $500,000, men freaked out, she's all about X. Yeah, definitely inappropriate. And that's a whole young woman being made to say things she probably doesn't even all the way understand. But it gets worse. Rumor has it that Jay-Z wasn't just her mentor, he was her first. Yeah, you heard me right. Allegedly, Jay-Z took her V-card when she was still not old enough, if you know what I mean. And he was paying her bills too. Now, I don't know about you all, but that sounds like a lot of grooming to me. Jay-Z showed his true colors. Jay-Z cut her off, not just professionally, but personally too. We're talking full-on blacklisting from the industry. One minute she's on top of the world, the next she can't get a gig to save her life. That's some cold-blooded stuff right there. We're talking about taking advantage of a young woman. We're talking about putting her health at risk. It's starting to look like Jay-Z's got a whole pattern of treating young women like they're disposable. Now, some folks might be wondering why Foxy's speaking out now. Maybe she's just seen what's happened with Rihanna and all the talk about Diddy, and she's finally feeling safe to tell her truth. Or maybe she's just had enough of keeping quiet while Jay-Z keeps acting like he's some kind of role model. Gotta ask ourselves though, is this just how the music industry works? Are young artists, especially young women, just expected to put up with this kind of treatment? Or is Jay-Z extra slimy, using his power to take advantage of these girls, just like his close friend R. Kelly? Now, you'd think that after the dirt came out about R. Kelly, Jay-Z would be running for the hills, trying to distance himself, right? Well, think again. Your boy Hov is still out here making bank off of his collabs with Kelly. Can you believe it? Yes, y'all. It's like he didn't even care about those victims. But who can blame him? I mean, Jay-Z and R. Kelly, they go way back. We're talking 2 whole albums together, plus a bunch of other tracks. And guess what? Even though R. Kelly's been convicted and everybody knows what he did, Jay-Z isn't taking none of that music off the streaming platforms. It's still out there, still making money for the both of them. He's definitely not Team You R. Kelly. Now, I know that some of y'all are thinking maybe Jay-Z forgot about those old tracks. Wrong. This isn't an accident. If maybe Jay-Z knew about R. Kelly's behavior all along. I mean, think about it. They were tight for years, touring together, making music together. How could Jay-Z not have seen or heard anything? And if he did know, why didn't he say something? Why'd he keep working with Kelly? But this is where it gets real interesting, because this R. Kelly connection might be more important than people realize. Because it's not just about Jay-Z and Kelly. No, this is about a whole web of powerful men in the music industry who might have been covering up for each other for years. Think about it. We got Jay-Z still profiting off of R. Kelly's music. We got him being besties with Diddy, who's facing his own serious allegations right now. And now we got Rihanna and Foxy Brown coming out with their own stories about Jay-Z. It's getting real connected, y'all. It's like every day there's a new lawsuit or accusation coming out about him. Remember that former adult star Adria English? She's saying that Diddy groomed and exploited her. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, y'all might be wondering what this has to do with Jay-Z. Well, let me connect some dots for you. Jay and Diddy go way back. We're talking the 90s when they were both just trying to make it in the game. They've been tight ever since, making music, doing business deals, all that stuff. And now folks are starting to ask some real uncomfortable questions. Like, is Diddy up to all this mess, or did Jay-Z know? Was he in on it? And it's not just about what Jay might have known. People are starting to look at his behavior a little closer. Remember what we were saying about Rihanna and Foxy Brown, right? Well, turns out there might have been a whole task force looking into Jay's relationships with young female artists from back in the day. Jay-Z's ex-publicist Jonathan Hay spilled some tea about this, and he's allegedly being questioned by the feds. Now, why would a task force be interested in that unless there was something fishy going on? And it ain't just Jay-Z and Diddy. Some people are saying that it goes deeper, like music industry deep. Jaguar Wright's been saying how Jay-Z and Diddy are part of some bigger network of exploitation. She's even comparing them to Harvey Weinstein. Yes, Harvey Weinstein. Jaguar isn't holding back. She straight up called Jay-Z worse than Diddy. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that's a very big accusation. I know you're all probably wondering, what's Beyonce's role in all of this? What does she know? I mean, she's got this squeaky clean image that she's supposed to be the ultimate boss lady, right? But what if I told you that Lil Miss Perfect might not be so perfect after all? What if Beyonce's been knowing about all this mess the whole time? Let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Remember all those cheating rumors about Jay-Z? They've been swirling around for... My sister wouldn't be trying to beat him up in an elevator. But here's where it gets real interesting. Some folks are saying that Beyonce might have been more than just a bystander in all this drama. They're saying that she might have actually helped cover up some of Jay-Z's dirty deeds. Can you believe that? Not Queen Bee possibly being an accomplice? Now I know what you're thinking, but Beyonce's so strong and independent. She'd never put up with that. Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes what we see on the outside isn't what's really going on behind closed doors. And when it comes to B and J, there might be a whole lot more going on than we ever knew. Think about it. Beyonce's been with Jay-Z for years. They've built this whole empire together. You really think she doesn't know what's going on? Or that maybe she knew and just didn't care as long as the money kept rolling in? Either way, it's not a good look for our girl. And let's talk about Beyonce's daddy for a minute. Matthew knows. He's been out here spilling tea of his own. He's saying he never liked Jay-Z, never thought he was good enough for his baby girl. And now, I'm not gonna say that Beyonce's guilty of anything, but you gotta admit, all this stuff adds up. Manipulating her image to keep us all on her side while she and Jay-Z do God knows what behind the scenes. But there's something else to think about. If Beyonce's been covering for Jay-Z all these years, what else might she be hiding? We're talking about a woman who's got more power in the music industry than just about anybody. And if she wanted to keep something quiet, you better know she knows how to do it. But we have to ask ourselves, is Beyonce really a victim in this? Or is she just as bad as Jay-Z?